Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 4th Cedar Springs Redhawks Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It is truly an honor to stand before you tonight as we celebrate the legacy of excellence, dedication, and sportsmanship that defines Cedar Springs athletics. Our Hall of Fame exists to recognize and honor those who have not only excelled in their respective sports, but have also left a lasting impact on our school, our community, and the generations of Redhawks who follow in their footsteps. Tonight we have the privilege of inducting 5 outstanding individuals who have demonstrated what it truly means to be a Redhawk. Through their skill, leadership, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to excellence, their stories inspire us, their achievements set the standard, and their legacy will forever be enshrined in the history of Cedar Springs athletics. I will now turn the mic over to our Master of Ceremony, Morgan Marshall.
As we begin our inductions tonight, we honor individuals whose talent, dedication, and impact have shaped the rich tradition of Cedar Springs athletics. Our first inductee is a true testament to what it means to be a Redhawk. Katie Trala Wolf, a distinguished member of the class of 1997, made her mark on the basketball court with exceptional talent, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Her contributions as a Redhawk were nothing short of extraordinary, earning her a well-deserved place among the greats in Cedar Springs athletics. Her hard work and skill propelled her beyond high school, where she continued her athletic career at Oakland University. Tonight, we proudly welcome Katie Trala Wolf into the Cedar Springs Redhawks Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome Ted Sabinas to speak more about Katie.
Great pleasure that I have the opportunity to introduce Katie Wolf Trolla to the award banquet tonight. It wasn't a big part of Katie's athletic accomplishments here at Cedar. I did get to coach her in her senior year in track. Most athletes will get senioritis in the spring of their senior year. And Katie, instead of getting senioritis, she decided to do 2 sports that season. And one of those was track. Now, I have to admit, I was kind of disappointed in Katie in running track. The reason I was disappointed was because I didn't get her for 4 years of cross country and 4 years of track. She could have made a huge impact on those programs also. In Katie's senior year, she did get a varsity letter in track while also playing softball. She was varsity letter winner 2 years in softball and all conference in 1 year, and probably all area. I can't really find that particular stat. On volleyball, she was a hitter. She was a back row person. She could serve. She could do it all. She was all conference for a couple years. She was all area. She was all state, second team. Little story about Katie in volleyball. In her senior year, the setter for the team was Sarah Sabinas. I better say it the other way because her husband's here. But Sarah was her setter. And Sarah knew that if she just got close to Katie in the front row, Katie was going to hurt the other team. When she hit the ball, it would go down, and the other team was probably just better getting out of the way or they'll get hurt. Amazing volleyball player. In basketball, probably her most loved sport. She put up some incredible statistics. She was varsity all 4 years at Cedar Springs. She was all conference all 4 years at Cedar Springs. She was all area many times. She was also all-state in her junior and senior years. She set some pretty lofty records here also. She scored over 1,500 points in her career here at Cedar Springs. She set the record at that time for the most three-pointers in one game. She made 8 three-pointers in one game. She scored 46 points in one game against Muskegon Heights in the district tournament. She also averaged over 20 points a game in her high school career. Amazing accomplishment. Well, not to be outdone, she decided to go to Oakland University and play basketball there. And just like in Cedar Springs, where she was all conference all 4 years, she was all conference first team for Oakland in her time there. She set numerous scoring records. She was honorable mention All-American. She also went on to be one of the leading scorers on the team and set some records there for scoring. And not to finish up her career, she decided, well, I think I'll try to play professional basketball overseas. And so she played a couple of years of professional basketball also. I don't know, I couldn't say for sure, but I don't think we've had any other female basketball players from Cedar Springs ever played professional basketball right in the college. You know, we've had a lot of athletes that have excelled at very high levels here over the past 100 years in Cedar Springs. Now, and of course, I would know that because I've been around for most of those 100 years. But every once in a while, an extraordinary athlete comes along. The type of athlete that I was just talking about. An extraordinary athlete that went to high levels that are hard to imagine that one person could be so successful. I'd like to also mention, too, that I think Katie's kind of an old school athlete. She played 3 seasons every year that she was in high school, except, again, in her senior year, she had 4 seasons. And that's a rare thing nowadays for athletes to be able to excel in so many different sports. I think if Katie decided to play tiddlywinks, she probably would be all conference. So, on that note, I'd like to introduce Katie, who will throw it. Come on up,
Thank you so much, Dad. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but he memorized all of those stats and everything. I don't know how you did that. I didn't even know all that. So thank you so much. Ted and Diane were huge supporters of mine growing up. They were like a second set of parents, so thank you for always loving me like one of your own. Jackie goes, Mom, you're going to cry? I'm like, heck, I'm not going to cry. Why would I cry? I want to thank the Hall of Honor Committee for putting together a wonderful event tonight. My uncle Scott Taylor, I don't think he's in, I think he's still coaching, but he's actually the one that called me to tell me the good news, so I just want to thank him for his love and support throughout all the years as well. Thank you, Evan and Autumn, for the video that you created and posted. It was awesome. Autumn, I almost texted you tonight and said, let's wear some matching Nike socks, but I wasn't sure if that would look good, so I decided to. For most of you who didn't know, Autumn and I would buy these crazy Nike socks, and then we would swap. So she would have one of mine, I'd have one of hers. We didn't match, we looked ridiculous, but at the time we thought it was pretty cool.
Still are.
So my brother Nick isn't here, but because Eli and Cena are playing tonight, he's Kentwood. But having an older brother that loved the game and wanted to play college basketball definitely had an impact on my career. He was a fun player to watch, and he was an inspiration. I want to thank my parents for showing me what hard work and dedication can get you in life. They own 2 businesses, volunteered hours to their community, raised a family, and always supported friends. They never gave up on each other or Nick and I. They taught me if I really wanted something in life to go after it, to dream big. And in high school, that dream was to play Division I basketball. Basketball was my life for many years. The sport took me places I would have never imagined, and I met people and made friends everywhere in the world because of basketball. I thank God for giving me the skills to play the game. I would go back and relive my high school years with no hesitation. I loved every minute of it, and I think a big reason for that is because of my teammates. We are still best friends to this day. We showed up to practice every day, worked hard, and had fun. I want to thank every one of them that are here tonight. Thank you for putting up with me. I think at times I may have been a little intense, but we had so many good times on and off the court. You then continued to support me while I was at Oakland, organizing road trips to watch me play and to cheer me on. So thank you, my dear friends, for always being there. Jeff and Maribeth Walker aren't here tonight, but I did hear from them. They were great coaches. They both loved the game of basketball and cared deeply for every single one of us. Cedar Springs is a great community, and I'm proud to say I was a Red Hawk.
Our next inductee is a name that resonates deeply within the Cedar Springs community. A coach, mentor, and trailblazer who dedicated nearly 4 decades to shaping the lives of student athletes. Coach Russell Armstrong, a beloved figure in Cedar Springs history, is being inducted into the Red Hawk Athletic Hall of Fame for his unwavering dedication and the lasting impact he has left on our athletic programs. Over his remarkable 38-year career, which concluded with his retirement in 1998, Coach Armstrong poured his heart into coaching boys and girls basketball, volleyball, tennis, and football, but his influence didn't stop there. A true pioneer in youth sports development, he founded Cedar Springs Youth Basketball Program, igniting a movement that inspired neighboring schools to follow suit. His leadership, vision, and relentless commitment to athletics have not only shaped countless athletes, but continue to be felt in our community and beyond. It is with great pride that we welcome Coach Russell Armstrong into the Cedar Springs Red Hawks Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome Sue Wolf.
My husband Tim and I nominated Russell or Russ in 2019. Unfortunately, he passed last year, so he is not here, but his spirit will always resonate in this school district and in this community. And as always, the Armstrong gang is here in full force. The family is amazing. His wife Sally is here, and his boys, Ryan and Rob. Mark is out of state somewhere, and Carol. And I'm hoping that Sally might actually have a minute to introduce you, because I think you'll want to know them and see who they are. It's an amazing family. But as Morgan said, Mr. Armstrong graduated from Kent City in 1959 and from Central Michigan in 1963 with a major in biology and physical education. His first 5 years of teaching and coaching were in Kent City and Grant, but by the grace of God, he landed in Cedar Springs in 1967, where he lived and humbly served the majority of his life as a teacher, coach, mentor, neighbor, and friend to thousands of young and old alike. Tim and I refer to Mr. Armstrong as a true Cedar Springs legend. And can I just tell you why? As a teacher, he taught various levels of science and physical ed for 35 years. He had the gift of sharing his knowledge and excitement for science and health and fitness in a way that students enjoyed learning. He was built like a football player, and I wonder, I don't know if it's true, but his nickname was Buffy. Is that because he was buff? I'm not sure. But anyway, a lot of people still refer to him as Buffy. But and he practiced what he preached in the health and phys ed. He emphasized the importance of staying strong and healthy, but never forgot the importance of the classroom education as well. As a coach, after retiring in 1998, Russ was deservingly invited to join the Michigan Sports Sages, an elite group of former athletes, coaches, and officials who are honored for their commitment in Michigan athletics. President Ford was even a member. Russ did coach every sport offered at that time between 1967 and 1998, except wrestling and cheerleading. He started with football and ended with girls volleyball. He jokingly would say, the girls smelled better. He coached every season during those 30 years, including youth sports, from youth to varsity. And during the summers, he ran free camps until he was forced to charge, which he then determined would be $5. But if he didn't have the $5, he'd cover it. And while he said every team was special to him, and I know he meant that, the Cedar Springs Football League Championship in the late 70s, where he served as defensive coach under head coach Jim Gallery, may have been his most successful one. However, he regularly did have winning seasons. Mr. Armstrong strongly believed in learning the fundamentals of a sport. And as Morgan said, he created the youth basketball program here. That was in 1986. At that time, Ryan and Mark were in elementary school. And believe it or not, there were no opportunities for elementary kids back then. There just wasn't. But Russ knew it was important. And so he started that and created it and did spend the summers helping kids. He also then, after he got that going, he reached out to Greenville and convinced them to start a youth program. And then the two schools had some competition. So that was a big thing back then. And then he also brought Scott Taylor in to assist him. And for over 15 years, they ran the Rocket Youth Program. And many say that certainly was a key in getting our high school teams better. As an honorable man, Russ thoroughly loved teaching and coaching in Cedar Springs, but always keeping his family as his top priority. His student athletes meant the world to him, and he truly wanted each of them to be the best they could be in every way. It was never about personal recognition or money for Russ. Actually, athletes told stories about how he personally bought them shoes, uniforms, equipment, and even volunteered for a year as the high school athletic director when funding wasn't available. He was respected by his peers, players, parents, and community members. Russell was a giver in life, a giver of his time, his talents, his joy, and his love. He inspired and he challenged while being strict on the rules for thousands of young people during his lifetime. He has left a permanent footprint in the foundation of Cedar Springs. He made our community and our world better. His life lessons will live on through his children and his grandchildren and all of us who are fortunate enough to have known him. The majority of Russell Armstrong's life was dedicated to Cedar Springs Public Schools and the Cedar Springs community, making him worthy of the Hall of Honor title. His memory is now documented for many years to come, thanks to the Athletic Council and the Athletic Director, Matt Moffitt. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Russell, I want to thank you for bestowing this honor on him. He truly was a wonderful man. Kids were his whole life. It was important to him to train them right, both as athletes and as human beings. He always insisted that they follow the rules. I've seen him bench a star player because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. That was just the way he lived. And I'd like to show you, everyone that's here today, this is our family. We all stand up. One way or another, he's coached everyone. He loved starting with the little kids. You know, he coached varsity this year, coached football, but he really enjoyed the camps he ran in the summer. He provided, of the $5 he got for the tennis camp, he hired Rob and paid him $5. So he helped his dad, and Mary Ann helped him with the volleyball team, and she's still doing it. Scott helped him, and he's still coaching. So he's really left a legacy here. I'm so proud of him all. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Our next inductee is a name that stands among the greatest in Cedar Springs wrestling history, an athlete whose dominance on the mat set records and inspired future generations of Red Hawk wrestlers. Jason Wright, a two-time Michigan State champion, enters the Red Hawk Athletic Hall of Fame as one of the most accomplished wrestlers our school has ever seen. Inspired by Hall of Famer Andre Metzger, Wright's passion, dedication, and relentless work ethic propelled him to back-to-back state titles in 1990 and 1991. His career record speaks for itself, an astonishing 174 wins and only 12 losses, with 134 pins, including an incredible streak of 32 consecutive falls. His legacy as one of Michigan's most formidable competitors is forever etched in Cedar Springs history. Tonight, we proudly welcome Jason Wright into the Cedar Springs Red Hawks Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome our athletic director, Matt Moffitt.
So Coach Jim Gallery could not be here tonight, but he wanted to say some words to Jason. Jason will be remembered for his back-to-back state championships, his mastery of the right move, and his 130-plus career wins by pin. I mostly remember him for his outstanding work ethic, his dedication to team, and his pleasure to be around. He was a great wrestler, a better teammate, and a pleasure to coach. Congratulations, Jason. Jason also could not be here this evening, but he had something for me to say. He said, let me start by thanking the Cedar Springs School System, Athletic Department, and Hall of Fame Committee for the honor of being selected for the Hall of Fame. It was a nice surprise to be inducted, especially to be contacted by one of my former 1991 classmates, Dana Hilliard. As I told Dana initially, I thought it would be tough for me to make the event, but assured her that someone would be there in my absence. Unfortunately, it seems this is the case. My dad, Danny Wright, and youngest brother, John Paul, JP, plan to be there for me. JP, also a Hall of Fame member for his team state championship, will be accepting for me. I started writing some names down of people to thank, and within minutes had a sheet of paper full of names that just poured out. Overwhelming the amount of teachers, bus drivers, coaches, parents, and friends throughout that community that deserve great thanks. These early mentors were and are the building blocks of my character, and I believe it is during these early years in which our characters are defined. Fortunately for me, I grew up in a great place, surrounded by great people. Thank you, Cedar Springs. I would also like to call JP up to say a few words as well.
Yeah, he was all right, wasn't he? He was all right. First off, it's an absolute honor to be here. I'm very humbled to be here. I have been here a long, long time, and it's great to see your guys' faces. It's absolutely wonderful to be back in your hometown. And let me tell you what, this town back in the day was one of the best towns that you could live in. No cell phones. We had bikes. We drove everywhere. Parents basically just fed you dinner. That's pretty much it. But this town is something very, very special. This whole red flannel town, and it's something that me and all my brothers, my family, we hold very, very dear to our hearts. So this, like I said, this town is very, very good town, very, very good place to grow up. So yeah, my brother had some pretty good footsteps to follow. I tried my very best. I continue to try my very best with following his footsteps. He's a wonderful man. He lives in North Carolina along with his wife. He takes care of two of his nieces that they've kind of taken in, which I think is very noble of my brother. If you know him, he's not really the type that you would think that would take on some kids of his or even be somewhat soft. But I can tell you, as strong as he is, he has the largest heart I've seen, and I am going to continue following his footsteps because that's the footsteps I want to follow for sure. So my brother did say he wanted us to kind of give a shout out to some coaches. One, Buffy. He did mention Buffy as one of his football coaches, and Buffy was an absolutely great teacher. I loved cranking the tennis balls over into the courtyard whenever he taught us tennis because, I wasn't much of a tennis player. But yeah, my brothers took the state championship 90, 91. Some of the coaches that he wants to just give shout outs to: Coach Armstrong, Coach Gallery, Coach Mills, Coach Bandigus, Coach Nyer, who I didn't even recognize today, Coach Nyer, wherever you are at. Wow, I recognized the voice and I was just like, who is that guy? And then, yep, it was Coach Nyer. Coach Sobey, which I don't remember a Coach Sobey, but Jason said it was one of his football coaches, and Coach Beatty. And really, my brother really wanted to thank all the teachers. He we did have a list of all these teachers, but some of them are actually sitting here today. But really, as far as giving thanks, I gotta give thanks to my dad. I gotta give thanks to my mom. We traveled all over the place, Russell, and we had some wonderful times, and it was just a really good time during that moment in my life. Again, we traveled all over the United States. I used to break dance in middle school. When I wasn't wrestling, I was breakdancing, trying to get money for pizza or something. Okay? But like I said, great town to live in, great town to be an athlete in, and definitely a great town to be an alumni from too. So thank you, Cedar Springs. Thank you to all the parents. Thank you to all the coaches. And most definitely thank you to all the teachers that have been wonderful to me in my life. So I appreciate it. All right? Thank you.
Our next inductee left a lasting mark on Cedar Springs athletics with her extraordinary speed, endurance, and unwavering determination. A true record breaker, she set the standard for excellence in both cross country and track and field. Kenzie Weiler is being inducted into the Red Hawk Athletic Hall of Fame for her incredible achievements as a two-time Division II state champion. Her dominance on the course and the track was unmatched. She never placed lower than second at the state cross-country meet and shattered multiple school records. To this day, she still holds the top times in the cross-country 5K, 800 meters, 1600 meters, 3200 meters, and the 4x800 relay. As the fastest cross-country freshman in Michigan history across all divisions and an 8-time All-State honoree, Kenzie's name is forever etched in Cedar Springs history. Her legacy of excellence continues to inspire future generations of Redhawks. Tonight, we proudly welcome Kenzie Weiler into the Cedar Springs Redhawks Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome Jennifer Kaler to speak more.
Thank you. Good evening. First, I just want to acknowledge that Rob Niner is the one who put all of the stats together for Kenzie and did all of the work digging into the history behind some of the stats that Morgan just mentioned that I'll say here. So I just get to stand here and do the speaking, but Rob's really the one who did all the work with the nomination. So thank you, Rob. I got the privilege and the honor of being Kenzie's cross-country coach for her first 2 years of her highly successful running career, and was able to be a fan then watching Kenzie just shatter cross-country records and track records, not just in Cedar Springs, but in the area and, of course, across the state of Michigan. As a runner for Cedar Springs High School, Kenzie has a long list of impressive accomplishments, which started right away in her freshman year. In 2011, her first season of varsity cross country, Kenzie set the school record, making her the fastest female in Cedar Springs history. She ran our record of 17 minutes and 13 seconds, which still stands today. Kenzie immediately earned respect and admiration from her teammates and was a leader due to her work ethic. She didn't back down from literally going the extra mile. There wasn't any complaint on the long days or extra excuses and ways to get out of those lovely 400s on the track and speed days. She welcomed the challenge, which set the tone for our season. Her teammates wanted to work just as hard as she did. Her dedication led our team to many accomplishments over the next 4 years, including conference championships, 3 regional championships, as well as the highest finish at a state meet, 2nd place in Cedar Springs girls cross country history. In addition to the school record, Kenzie accumulated many top honors and awards. She placed first in all 4 OK conference meets, earning her the top honors of conference champion and all conference all 4 years. She went on to win every regional meet, all 4 years. And at the state level for cross country, she finished in the top 30, which would earn a all-state honor. Kenzie didn't just finish in the top 20, or top 30. She not only finished in the top 20, she not only finished in the top 10, She not only finished in the top 5, but Kenzie has placed second in 3 state finals and first, making her the only female cross-country runner from Cedar Springs to have won a state title and hold that individual championship. Her dedication on the course also spilled over to the classroom, and she earned academic all-state honors every year in which she was eligible. That's just the start. Kenzie was also a track runner. In her second sport of track, she had equally long list of accolades and records. Even with a season-ending injury in her sophomore year, we saw the same leadership, the same focus, and the same determination. In the OK Conference, Kenzie was a conference champion in the 3,200 meter run in 2012, 2014, 2015. Again, every year she was able to compete. She won the 1,600 meter run at the conference in 2012 and again in 2015, the 800 meter run in 2012, and was a key member in both the winning 3,200 relay team in 2012 and the 1,600 meter relay team in 2015. Once again, Kenzie's contribution to the team helped earn another team conference championship in 2012, where the distance girls earned half of the points to win that meet. She earned all conference honors all 3 seasons, and at the state finals, Kenzie accumulated a 3rd place finish, a 5th place finish in the 3,200 meter run, and yet again, another state championship as a 1st place finisher in the 3,200 meter run, making her the first female track and field state champion in our school history. These fantastic performances earned her all state honors and again academic state honors each year. Kenzie's school records in those 4 events, the 1,800 meter, the 1,600 meter, the 3,200 meter, and a member as a 3,200 meter relay team, still stand today. You can hear all the wins, you can hear all the titles, the awards, the acknowledgments, and know that Kenzie stands out as one of the best and one of the greats in cross country and track, not only in our town, but in our conferences, and also in the entire state of Michigan. But I really want to put it into perspective for you. I began to think this week about how to convey the caliber of a runner that Kenzie has been for our cross-country programs. So I was tossing around the phrase, one of the best in the state. I thought, how can I prove this? It's pretty easy to say as a coach, right? Like, I coached one of the best in the state. That's really easy to toss out there. I thought maybe I could check out on AI, find out what's the best runner in the state of Michigan. But I thought, if I'm standing in front of a room full of people who have nominated other people based on their stats, I probably should have some good information to share with you. So I began to think about what makes a runner the best in the state. Is it simply having the fastest time? Is it simply the title of state champion? Is it just that 1st place finish? If you have the most 1st place finishes? So I went to the archives and I began to pull out some information to try to prove my point. I mentioned Kenzie has a cross-country state championship, so obviously that means she had the best time that year. But there are others who also have state championship. So I went on to look for girls who have a championship or 2 and where they might have placed during their 4 years of competing at the state finals. Julia Voss, Kenzie's fierce competitor, has 2 championships, but she placed 4th. What? She also has a 4th place finish and an 18th place finish. Nikki Bonsack, our neighbor in Rockford, has 2 championships, but she also placed 8th one year and 5th another. I looked through recent times. I looked back through the years that Kenzie was running. I had to go all the way back to 1997. I looked through Division II records, and then I thought, well, we've competed in Division I as well, so I looked through Division I records. Finally, I made it back to 1997. As a few of us know, it may feel like in the room, that was the year that we were graduating and thought we knew it all. Felt like just a few years ago. It's 28 years ago. 1997 was 28 years ago. I had to go back that far to find someone who had consistent accomplishments at the state finals as Kenzie did. So we can talk about a 1 and a 1 and a 5 and an 18, or a 1, a 1, and an 8, and a 5th. Kenzie's records and state finishes of 2nd place, 1st place, and 2nd place truly have been unmatched in the last 2 or 3 decades in the state of Michigan, truly honoring her as the top female athlete in the state of Michigan for the state of cross country. So congratulations to Kenzie and her unmatched dedication, her unmatched talent, and her unmatched drive to the sport. Matt Moffitt is going to say a few words because Kenzie can't be here tonight.
Kenzie could not be here, but she shared this with us. She said, "Hello, I regretfully could not attend this ceremony in person, but it felt important to be able to make it known how grateful and honored I am to be receiving this nomination into the Hall of Fame. I will always be so proud of where I grew up and everything Cedar Springs High School and athletics has shaped for me. I am who I am in so many ways because of the way my coaches, teammates, teachers, and family supported and encouraged me relentlessly. I hope that every current student athlete at Cedar Springs High School continues to set their sights high on joining the Hall of Fame one day, and most importantly, enjoys the process and each opportunity they get in sports, because it certainly is a privilege. Competitive sports are easily one of the most formative experiences you can have, and I promise that 10 years or beyond from graduating, the lessons and character development will still live in you. That, for me, is the biggest honor of all. Congrats to all the other Hall of Fame inductees on their impact and elevation to our athletics here, and thank you to the community for coming together as it does best to honor us all tonight. Thank you from Kenzie."
Our final inductee this evening is a Red Hawk whose name is synonymous with excellence on the basketball court. A leader, a record setter, and a competitor at the highest levels of the game, he made his mark not only at Cedar Springs, but far beyond. Austin Thornton, a 2007 graduate, is being inducted into the Red Hawk Athletic Hall of Fame for his outstanding contributions to Cedar Springs athletics. A dominant force on the court, he led the Red Hawks to 3 conference titles and 4 district championships, all while setting school records in minutes played, games played, points, rebounds, assists, and wins. A legacy of success that remains unmatched. His talent and leadership carried him to Michigan State University, where he played under legendary coach Tom Izzo. As a Spartan, he co-captained the team alongside NBA star Draymond Green, winning 2 Big Ten championships. His basketball journey continued at the professional level overseas before returning to MSU, first as a video coordinator and now as a full assistant coach, shaping the next generation of athletes. Austin's passion for the game and commitment to excellence have left a lasting impact at every level he's competed in. Tonight, we proudly welcome Austin Thornton into the Cedar Springs Red Hawks Athletic Hall of Fame. Please welcome his former high school coach, Andy Secor.
I want to first thank Mr. Moffitt, the students, and Mr. Harnden. High school athletics is a special thing. It's a special thing in a place like this, and all of you kind of getting this Hall of Fame together and continuing it is just a testament to Cedar Springs. I got some former players here in the audience. I think I have until 6:45, so just think of it as like a post game. I got a little bit of time on my hands, so I can tell a lot of Cedar Springs stories. During my 14 seasons coaching here, it was a special time for Cedar Springs boys basketball. And it was special because of some amazing coaches that I got to learn from. It was really special because of our amazing community support anywhere we would go. But it was the most special because we had really good players. And really good players can make coaches look really smart. And of those good players we had, Austin was just different. And he was different really fast. And it was really obvious. I was an assistant coach Austin's first year, and I think we thought we'd kind of make Austin earn his way into the starting lineup because we had 4 returning senior starters, and that lasted about 2 minutes in the first June team camp game at CMU because it was that obvious. You got to see some of the things that were obvious, I think, to any fan. So you could see his unique talent, like his unbelievable versatility. Play multiple positions. He could guard multiple positions. He could score from inside. He could score from outside. I think he's 4th all time in the state of Michigan in free throws made. He made 50 in a row at one point. 50-point game against Belding. 1,000-point scorer. Like, you could see all of those things. You could see his toughness in terms of how he was defended by other teams, or I should say fouled by other teams. You could see his toughness mentally in terms of other team student sections and coaches that tried to gimmick him all the time. That was obvious, I think, to anybody that came to any game. You could also see that he won. You know, of all the things that you just listed, I bet Austin's most proud of being the winningest player in Cedar Springs history. Didn't matter if it was scoring, didn't matter if it was rebounding, didn't matter if it was guarding. You know, to go 20-0 out of the gate as a freshman in the regular season, and then as a senior to have a 22-game winning streak, those are not things many people had, and those were both a testament to Austin and being a winner. But there's also a couple of his teammates and family here in the crowd. There's also things that only we got to see, that you didn't get to see on Tuesday and Friday night. And first was his work ethic. You know, I remember him telling me that he was going to not play football because he was just going to concentrate on basketball. And when you hear that from most 16-year-olds, that means they're just going to go home after school. They're just going to hang out a little bit. So I remember that one of those first falls, he said, Coach, let's come in and get a shooting workout. So we get out the gun, it's 3:30 or whatever, 4 o'clock, and we shoot for an hour. And, you know, I got a tee time in Cedar Chase at 4:45. So I'm like, hey, we're going to be done here? And he's like, Coach, like, I just want to stay and shoot. So I go and play golf, play 9 holes. Those of you that play golf with me in Cedar Chase know it's never 9. It's 12, and it's 15 holes, and it's 16 holes, and we're just playing until it gets dark. Gets dark, I come back to put the shooting machine away, and it's still in the gym. It's 9 o'clock. It's 5 hours later. Like, there's work ethic, and then there's obsessive work ethic, and that made him a little bit different. The other thing that made him different was his competitiveness. The best way I can describe it is when you hear people talk about the late Kobe Bryant and the way that he approached every single day, that's how Austin approached every single day. Not just every practice, not just when the lights went on, every drill, every stretch, everything. And that competitiveness kind of pulled us all together. And then last is his leadership. He brought some people along. He dragged some people along, if that's what was needed. But every day, every practice, every game, it was unquestioned from the sophomore year on who was the leader of our team. The unique ability that Austin has was, and then he would go off the court, and he's just one of the guys. It's the same as everybody else. And he might have just yelled at a guy, you know, got to go a little bit harder, and then off the court, it was a hug, and let's go hang out together. That's a special kind of leadership that you don't see from 16, 17, 18-year-olds very often. And what the result of that was he had the respect of our coaching staff. He could call plays. He could make suggestions. It's hard as a 17-year-old to get the respect of 40-year-olds. I know when I was 17, I didn't have the respect of any 40-year-olds. But he had the ultimate respect of our coaching staff, which is a very, very different characteristic. You know, his 4 years as a freshman, obviously, was an amazing season. Probably one of the biggest games in Cedar Springs history when we played Drew Neitzel here in the crossover game. And Michigan State was here to watch Drew, but kind of got to watch somebody else, and that kind of all got rolling that night. Sophomore, junior years, obviously we had really, really good seasons. League championships, district championships, and then the senior year we lost to Lowell in the opener. We thought we were going to win, and we're heavily favored to win, and all of a sudden we're 0-1 and kind of looking at what's going to happen. And next day of practice, we just moved forward, and next thing you know, we won 22 games in a row, including beating East Grand Rapids in the Jam at the Van when they were number 1. And that was just a magical, magical ride. And so from there, he's trying to decide what he's going to do in terms of going to college. He has 20-plus Division I college basketball offers, and I'm just waiting for him to tell me which one he's going to take. And I'll never forget him looking at me in the eye in the coaching office and telling me that he was going to go to Michigan State as a preferred walk-on. I think I kind of looked at him like, are you crazy? You have all of these offers and all of these things you can do, and I'll never forget for the rest of my life what he said to me. He said, Coach, I have to know if I'm good enough to play there. I have to know. And he gets to Michigan State, redshirts his freshman year, plays 4 minutes a game his regular freshman year, plays 6 minutes a game his sophomore year. What do 99% of college basketball players right now do? They're in the transfer portal, right? but Austin's not like that 99%. There's something different about his character. There's something different about his resilience. But probably more than anything else, there's something different about his belief in himself. And so from there, all of a sudden, he becomes a major factor in his junior year, captain his senior year, and a starter, and goes on to amazing things. But there's not a lot of people and not a lot of 20-year-olds that would have been able to stick that out. All amazing accomplishments. You know, I would like to think after that year at Michigan State, before he went over to play professionally, he was the wingman on my YMCA team at the Granville Y, which I'm sure doesn't rank high for him, but ranked pretty high for me because everybody just guarded him and I could take as many shots as I wanted. But it's been cool to see from there him play professionally, him come back, and more than anything else, him continue to use his God-given talents to help people in the gym and to help players get better. So it's my greatest honor to announce Austin Thornton to the Cedar Springs Athletic Hall of Fame.
Talk about a flood of memory here. Don't mind me, I gotta fix the mic just a little bit. The height difference between myself and everybody else. My goodness. Amazing to be back here in Cedar Springs. I was driving up here earlier with my wonderful new bride, and as we're driving down the 17-mile road, getting off the exit, I said, man, this is just a flood of memories. Driving around this time at night, 4:45, 5 o'clock or so, on your way to the high school for a potential basketball game. Just memory after memory after memory after memory flooding back. And coming in here, seeing all the wonderful, familiar faces, I wish you should come a little bit more prepared. Everyone else was typed out information. I do not, so we're going to go off the cuff here, just because that's kind of how I operate, how things go. But like I said, just an amazing, amazing experience back here. And I do want to, first of all, thank my parents. Dad, can you guys stand up here? I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some recognition. Give them a round of applause, please. Yeah. You do know my parents. I'm sure you're probably not surprised that my mom showed up in one of our former warm-ups. So she was always that amazing mom in the stands, cheering for us, sometimes starting fights with opponent fans, but that's okay. And my dad would come in and came in all the time, and he would be up there filming all of our games, watching our games, helping us, and always encouraging us. And so those two, I cannot thank them enough in all the support they've given me, not only growing up, but also as an adult, helping me raise my now 18-year-old son. So for those of you who remember that situation, yeah, time flies, you know. He's 18, he's a senior at East Grand Rapids, of all the schools he could attend. Fate loves irony, you gotta love it. We're the school that happened to knock us out of the regional finals a couple times, Coach. I still haven't watched the film. I'm not sure if you have. I can't bring myself to it. I did just recently ask my dad if he could give me the tape. Still haven't watched it. It's one of the few games that I haven't gone back and watched. Tough memory, but you live and you learn. So thankful to them and everything they've been supportive of me. The rest of my family, I've got a ton of family members here, cousins, Ryan, Danny, my younger brother Judd, my wonderful sister-in-law Azariah, and my two nephews, Mary Beth, and my two nephews Azariah and Bryson. Hey boys, glad you guys behave yourselves. Thank you very much for coming. I also want to congratulate the rest of the inductees, and it's just wild how these things work. To the Wright family, didn't know you guys, but anyone who wrestles and is that successful in wrestling, hey man, you're good by me. That's a tough sport. To the Wheeler family, we used to laugh, right? Our sport, football, basketball, we would run for punishment. You guys run for fun, so you guys are good by us. Congratulations on all the stuff there. Katie, you and your brother, you set the standard. Remember kind of being part of the community, coming to Cedar Springs events, and everyone used to talk about Nick and Katie and how awesome they were, and didn't ever have a chance to watch you guys live, but I heard all the stories, and a really, really special moment for me from your family was when I did break Nick's scoring record. And and he was one of the first people to call me. And it was an awesome message to get from him and to hear from him and to have been trained by him. He was very, very gracious to have worked with us growing up. And so to hear him call me, listen to how excited he was for me was a testament to not only him, but also to your family. So Mr. Wolf, Mrs. Wolf, thank you very much. raised some wonderful, wonderful kiddos, and they're now wonderful parents themselves. So, an awesome, awesome memory for me when that took place. And then to the Armstrong family, I don't remember having a chance to meet Mr. Armstrong, but I heard his name a lot. And funny how things work. His grandson, Alex, is now a student manager for us at Michigan State University. And so here's a fun little story. About a month ago, it's pre-practice. I'm working a couple of our players out. Like if you haven't been down to Michigan State practice, you're more than welcome to come down anytime. Coach is pretty awesome. It's like a production each and every single practice. There's 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 people in there watching and whatnot. But most of the athletes who get to that level, if practice starts at 3 o'clock, most of the time they're on the court by 2:10, 2:15-ish, depending upon their tutors, depending upon their class schedule. And so I was working some of our guys out, and Alex, one of the first managers, if not the first manager, in the Breslin every single day, helping get set up for practice, and he's kind of been one of my regular rebounders. So I'm working one of our guys out, and he's very soft-spoken, sweetheart, very, very soft-spoken, kind of comes up to me, doesn't say much. Hey, Austin, it calls me AT. Hey, AT, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. And I'm kind of in the middle of the passing. And I'm like, thanks. How'd you know? Like, how'd you know this? He goes, oh, my mom told me so. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe she saw it on social media. And I'm like, and then again, workout keeps rolling, you're just kind of moving, you're just kind of grooving. Fast forward a month, don't really think too much about it. We have a practice today, and I'm helping our guys get through the first part of our practice, and he comes up again and says, congratulations, my grandpa's getting inducted. And I pause, and I go, Mr. Armstrong is your grandpa? And you didn't say anything? So I was just kind of started laughing, and the rest of the student managers that are around us are like, Alex, why didn't you put it together? And he goes, well, I just didn't know. I said, Alex, that is so awesome, and it's such an honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in the same class as your grandfather. So to the Armstrong family, thank you very much. It was wonderful to meet you guys tonight and to kind of share that story. And so we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Who's ever coming down to the game down there in East Lansing, please cheer loud, because we need all the support we can get. We're under 2 games to get right now, but just kind of wanted to recognize the rest of the inductees, and also thankful to the Cedar Springs High School, to the athletic department, to the Hall of Fame group, for those of you who nominated me and supported me and given me an opportunity to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. It's pretty awesome. It's a special moment. And as Coach Secor was up here kind of rattling off the accolades, I kind of stole my thunder, Coach. Points didn't matter, rebounds didn't matter, assists did not matter. When it boiled down to it, all I really truly cared about was winning. I wanted to win, I wanted to win, I wanted to win. Whether it was in our sprints, which maybe toward the end of my career, Coach, I might have gotten a little bit lax with the sprints and the cross-country training. You probably don't remember this. Another funny story, Coach had us all of a sudden my senior year running the mile. And I'm like, Coach, man, you know how hard I work. You know I'm in the gym. You know I'm running sprints. You know I'm running stairs. Now we're doing a mile test. And it was one of the first times I look back, I'm like, I didn't come in first place, but I had a teammate, Tyler Emery, who's a wonderful teammate of mine. Probably eventually, if he hasn't been, will eventually one day maybe be inducted into the Cedar Springs Hall of Fame, a fantastic athlete. He was a cross-country and track guy. And for about the first 3 minutes, I was able to keep up, and then he just kind of strided away from me, and I just said, this is a reason why I don't do that sport, and there's a reason why I play the sport of basketball. And so, Coach, I'm grateful to you and Coach Secor for giving me an opportunity Coach Schlump for giving me an opportunity when I was a freshman. Some unbelievable memories. My freshman year was pretty incredible. I've been asked multiple times, compare your freshman year to your senior year, and talk about a tale of two different teams. My freshman season, the guys were all bigger, they were all stronger. Seemed to be a fight every other day in practice because we were so competitive and everyone wanted to win so bad, and it was a really, truly special group to be part of. We finished the regular season 20-0, and again got upset by those dang freaking Pioneers down there in East Grand Rapids in the regional semis. And then fast forward to my senior year, and for the community here knows there was a lot going on during that last 18 months or so of my time here at Cedar Springs, and was very, very grateful to not only the coaching staff, obviously my family, but then my teammates who just kind of helped me and supported me. And as we did lose that very first game 2-0, we were kind of like, what the hell just happened, man? We just scored 31 points in the game. versus a team that we should have probably beat by 20 points. And you know what? One of my, again, I'll refer to him, Tyler Emery is just an unbelievable human being. I remember him putting his arm around me and saying, man, we've worked too hard, you've worked too hard, we're going to be okay. And we were able to rattle off 22 straight wins after that. And what an unbelievable run that we had. And so grateful to all of that, grateful to all of you, happy to be here, happy to see all the familiar faces. We're all just a few years older, but hopefully everyone is doing okay. And love this place, a lot of great memories, and go Red Hawks.
Well, this is the first time in 4 years I can say that we actually have time to not rush down to do the second portion of our night. I do want to say a couple thank yous. One, thank you for everyone showing up tonight. This has really been an awesome evening, and it continues to grow year after year. My administrative assistant, Dana Hillier, in the back, I mean, none of this would happen without her, so thank you, Dana. Justin Harden in the back, one of our teachers here, and the girls soccer coach, runs our TV Pro. I mean, all the videos, everything like that, the sound system. Obviously, his kids are live streaming it. One of our students up here, Morgan Marshall, for being the MC tonight. Thank you, Morgan. Sue Wolf is also a big part of this. She doesn't know, but she also puts some ideas in me and Dana's head every single year, and obviously they always work out, so thank you, Sue. Just a huge thank you for my Hall of Fame committee. Obviously, I told some of the people that were inducted tonight that I just see the stats on a piece of paper. I've only been here for 4 years, so the people that are on that committee really give me the light of who every single person is, and it's really great to hear the stories. So that's just a really huge impact on me. I would like to take a couple pictures of the inductees up in front of here. We will then have, you guys have plenty of time. I think it's just the end of the first quarter or just the start of the second quarter right now. And the presentation in the gym will take place in between the games. So right after the girls' game, there'll be a small presentation in the gym where Mr. Jackson will read just a little bit of a script, and then people will come out and get their plaques right at center court, and then I'll take another picture of the 5 inductees. But I'd like to take 3 pictures up here. Then anybody can use the background for pictures if you would like them. But then make your way down there. There's some seating right behind our varsity bench. So our girls are playing, so it's right behind their bench. There's some seating for everybody there. But like I said, I appreciate everybody coming out. Like I said, please grab some snacks back there. Sue Wolf, again, got a donation for those. So please grab some before you guys leave as well. But thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you.